Welcome back to another video. I, as always, am your host, Justin Lesko, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt and former pro MMA fighter. If you love Jiu-Jitsu, you may have aspirations to eventually make Jiu-Jitsu your career. But is it possible to make money in Jiu-Jitsu? Can BJJ be your career? Well, the good news is, yes it can. The bad news is, it's really hard. But I'm going to show you the way. The first stop along the way is epicrollbjj.com, so you can get everything you need to look like someone who should be getting paid for Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm going to help you even further by telling you that if you use the coupon code podcast15, you can take 15% off of gis, rash guards, shirts, hoodies, fight shorts, artwork, coffee mugs, and too many more things to mention right now. You're a grappler. You should wear clothes made for grapplers, by grapplers, and that's what Epic Roll is. Give them a follow on the gram at epicrollbjj and make sure you tag them in your new gear. They might just give you a shout out. Visit epicrollbjj.com and use the code podcast15. It won't immediately make you famous, but it's a start. Now let me show you how to make your money. Welcome to That Jiu-Jitsu Podcast. So I'm assuming if you clicked on this video and you're watching right now, it's because you want to make money in Jiu-Jitsu as a competitor. The way that you're going to do that to make a full-time living and to make enough money to be rich and famous is to become one of the best fighters in the world. I know, I'm asking a lot. You can make money at local tournaments. Fight to Win pays a commission and pays you to win, but it's not a lot of money. I mean, it's great that they pay you. Don't get me wrong. I'm not ungrateful for Fight to Win paying people, but it's just not enough money to sustain your life. I think if you win finishers sub only, it's a couple $1,000s. Like, you're not going to be able to be rich and famous off of winning local tournaments. It's great. It's great that they pay. Don't get me wrong. It's great. But if you look at how much time it's going to take for you to train and how much time you're going to spend on the mat and all of the work you're going to put in to maybe win $5,000 at a local tournament, and that's assuming that you beat everybody else who shows up and you're the best guy there, doesn't really work out to even close to minimum wage. I think when I was fighting MMA, and you don't make a lot of money when you're fighting regionally in the MMA circuit, I think I did the math, and all of the time that I put in training and running and lifting and the time I spent just preparing for fight camp, I think I made like $2 an hour for all that time. It's just not sustainable. The only way to make the big bucks in Jiu-Jitsu is to be Gordon Ryan or Craig Jones or someone at that level. Can you do it? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how good you are. I don't know how much you're willing to put in. I don't know if you have someone who's willing to pay you a salary to just train and just spend 8 to 9 hours on the mat every day getting better. A lot of people don't have that, and it's very difficult to become one of the best in the world if you can't train 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's dreams. I'm just trying to be honest. Think about who you think of as the highest paid grapplers in the world. Is there more than 10 of them? Think about how many grapplers there are in the world. Is there more than like 10,000? The odds are pretty stacked. It's just like if, the high school kid's really good at football. The odds that he's going to make it to the NFL and be an MVP and make $100 million, they're pretty low. I mean, it sucks. I wish everyone could get paid to do the things they love to do. If you love Jiu-Jitsu and you want to make it your career, being a competitor is the hardest road ahead, and it might be worth looking at some of these other alternatives. Now, it is possible to get sponsorships, and it is possible to get people to pay you to promote their products. There's basically two different versions of sponsorship: celebrity sponsorship and affiliate sponsorship. In a celebrity sponsorship, this is what you typically think of when you think of a pro athlete being sponsored. It's basically just a brand or a company paying an athlete a salary just to wear their stuff, just to promote their stuff, and they pay them enough money that it's enough to live on. Now, in Jiu-Jitsu, it's obviously not the same as in the NBA or the NFL. It's going to be smaller amounts, but if you're one of the top guys in the world, there are companies who will pay you a full-time salary just to compete in Jiu-Jitsu. Like I just said about being one of the best athletes in the world, a celebrity sponsorship is very difficult to come by, even if you have a big following on social media, even if you're winning a lot of tournaments. Guys who are competing on Flow Grappling at Who's Number One, they're getting celebrity sponsorships, but I would venture anyone not in the main event is probably not making $100,000 a year from celebrity sponsorships. I could be wrong. If you are one of those people, please let me know down in the comments. The other version of sponsorship is affiliate sponsorship, and that's where a company will pay you to promote their product, but they will pay you a portion of sales, and it goes off of a coupon code. You give people the code. If they buy it, you will get a portion of the sales. It's actually not super difficult to get affiliate gigs, even if you don't have a super big following. A lot of brands on their company website will even have a tab for affiliates or partnerships where you can apply to be an affiliate for them. For the company, it's pretty easy. They don't have to pay you a salary or pay you anything up front. Maybe they'll send you some free gear to sample, to have something to promote, but they're only paying you for the sales that you generate. That's why a lot of companies are willing to partner with people who don't already have a huge following. The downside to affiliate sponsorship is you are only getting paid when people use your code. So you have to really get a lot of people to buy a product before you make any real sort of money. That's why a lot of people have multiple affiliate partnerships. They might have someone that for gis, they might have someone for rash guards, they might have someone for supplements. They probably have someone for CBD because that's the hottest thing in jiu-jitsu sponsorships right now. Every blue belt with BJJ in their handle on Instagram seems to have a CBD sponsorship. I don't have a CBD sponsorship, so if anyone listening or watching wants to pay me a lot of money, I'd happily support your CBD product, but right now I don't. If you're just trying to grow your following, affiliate sponsorships can be a great way to make a little extra money, but again, it's not going to make you enough to buy a house in the hills. Maybe one day. Another way you can make money in jiu-jitsu is by starting a podcast or a YouTube page, which is obviously what I have done since you are hearing me talk right now. You can spend way too much time producing content for not that much money. If you are watching the YouTube version of this and you want to help me make some money, make sure that you click on every ad that YouTube puts in front of you, and of course never skip ads, and why not like and comment and subscribe to help defeat that evil algorithm. But again, hosting a show for me is not because I want to try to make money at jiu-jitsu. It's because I love doing this show. I love producing content. It is a lot of fun for me, and it has given me the opportunity to talk to a lot of people in this sport who I otherwise would not get to meet and not get to talk to, and it's a ton of fun. I do think that there is a problem where everyone feels the need that they have to monetize every single one of their hobbies and you can't ever do anything just to enjoy it. For me, this show is not that. This show is some extra money that's great, and I love having it come in, and it's not anything that I'm going to be able to buy a mansion with, but it gives me a little extra money for doing something I already want to do and I already enjoy. I should tell you, if you want to start a podcast, there is a coupon code that I can give you that will give you a discount on the podcast hosting site that I use. Just send me a message. I'll help you out, and I'll help you get started with whatever you want to do, because I think more jiu-jitsu podcasts would be a good thing. We're going to take just a quick break in the show. First, so I can say happy Thanksgiving if you're watching this the day it comes out. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving yesterday, and today you don't have to use your fight skills while you're in a mob shopping on Black Friday. If you're watching this sometime after the day that it comes out, it is not too late for a Black Friday deal from your favorite show, and I do mean this one. Between now and the end of the month of November, you can join the member area for as little as $3 a month, and I will send you a free shirt from the show. Yep, that's all you have to do. Sign up for any membership level and get a free shirt. Plus, I'll give you a personalized shout out in the next episode. That way, everyone who watches this show will know how much better than them you are. The member area gets you tons of bonus content like bonus episodes, Q&A episodes, exclusive giveaways, and early access to episodes. And plus, now I'll send you a free shirt if you subscribe. The link to our member area is below. Check it out now and get a free shirt just for joining. Plus, everyone you know will feel bad when I tell them how much cooler you are. Deals don't get much better than this, so check it out. And now, back to the show. Another way that you can monetize your love of jiu-jitsu is by opening a school. And again, this is going to be even more work than your brand new YouTube page or your brand new podcast. A lot of people, I think, underestimate what it takes to own a school. They think it's just you show up, you open the door, a bunch of people come in, you train, you go home. But it's just like any other business. And if you're not prepared to start a new startup business, you're also not prepared to start a jiu-jitsu school. I have worked for jiu-jitsu schools. I have done sales for jiu-jitsu schools. I have run the front desk for jiu-jitsu schools. It is a lot of work. People don't just walk in the door. I mean, sometimes they do. It happens. But you need to be actively getting people in the door, getting people to sign up, on top of running your jiu-jitsu program and training and coaching It is a lot of work. I know that there are jiu-jitsu schools where it is just a hobby and it's extra money and people don't rely on it to get them paid. It's just something they do because they enjoy coaching and they enjoy teaching. I know some jiu-jitsu schools where people make a ton of money, have a ton of affiliates, and it's how they make their living. If you're going to do it, that's the way you should try to do it, I think. I think if you're going to open a business, you should try to make it the best business in the world. But that is what a jiu-jitsu school is. It is a business. So please, before you buy some mats and put them in your garage and think that you're going to be the next biggest school in the world, remember, it does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of commitment, but it can be worth it. If you're not ready to commit to running your own school and taking on that much of a project and that much of a brand new business, you can coach private lessons. You can talk to the school where you train about maybe teaching some classes. Again, this is like a recurring theme through this episode, and I'm sorry to burst bubbles, but it's not going to pay you a ton of money. You might get $20 a class. So depending on how much you can teach, you're not going to make enough money to pay your mortgage by just teaching kids class, probably. But teaching classes is a great way to make a little extra cash and to see if you really enjoy it. A lot of people start teaching and they find that it's not for them. A lot of people start teaching and they love it. I love teaching class. I do it for free. I love teaching. It's a lot of fun to see students take technique that you taught them and apply it, and to see students grow and know you helped in that growth. Teaching is very rewarding for jiu-jitsu. I love it. It can still pay you some money. It can pay you a little extra spending money and give you a little extra cash. Will it buy you a mansion? Maybe one day. Probably not to start. I do think the biggest potential for money in jiu-jitsu is to run a promotion or a tournament. If you think about every tournament you've ever gone to, think about every person that has been there and that they probably paid $100 or more to be there. It's a lot of cash coming in one day. Is there a lot of headaches? Absolutely. You have to find a venue. You have to get insurance. You have to find mats. You have to pay referees. You have to pay table workers. You have to get merchandise tables. You have to get competitors to sign up for your tournament. It is a ton of money. But if you can get that well-oiled machine running and you can get tournaments going every week and you can get hundreds of people coming, there's a lot of money there. If you look at the guys who run Naga and who run local tournaments like that, they are making a ton of money. Is it easy? No. Has anything been easy on this list that I've talked about? No. Is there potential to make a lot of money? Well, yes, there is. Of all the things that we talked about so far, I think if you can run a tournament, that is the probably most lucrative way that you can make money. You're going to make a lot more than you're going to make from YouTube and podcasting when you start. You're going to make a lot more from coaching. So if you want to run a tournament, let me know. I will come and I will compete. You're going to have a tough road ahead, just like if you were to open a school. But we're talking about how you can make money from jiu-jitsu, and that is probably the best way. I'm sure in this episode, people thought I was going to give them a very handy tip to make them a millionaire through jiu-jitsu. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work that easily, but it doesn't work that easily in anything. And if you're looking to get rich quick, that never really works out for the best. But that doesn't mean you can't make money in jiu-jitsu, and I hope that this helps. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that thumbs up button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Like I said, all the comments and the likes and the subscriptions will help me defeat the algorithm. There is a lot of content coming. There's more videos over here you can watch right now. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.